All right, I want to welcome you here this evening as the Hinton Comets on the road against Carnegie here on a Friday night in an old but classic gym. Love the look of this gym. The windows at the top, it's got a unique look to it. It's an old gym, but a good one. And we're here excited for some Friday night hoops. We're going to get the girls started here in just a moment as we await taking the action courtside. And we'll take it live down courtside. And so we're going to rise here for the national anthem. Take a quick break here and be right back at you for starting lineups. All right, good job there. The invocation, national anthem. And now we get things ready here for starting lineups for both teams. Should be an exciting evening. Of course, want to remind everyone at home, the girls 3-0 in their last 3 games as they come out with wins Friday and Saturday of the tournament, get that consolation championship. Then on Tuesday, getting a good win at home against Bingers. So they got a little momentum rolling into this game. And you know, the big thing for them has just been, number one, their defense. They got players like Charlie Van Huss who've been playing really good, really disruptive. They've limited turnovers on the offensive side and just getting physical. They've got all 5 girls playing really good team ball. They're getting help from, Alyssa Hale and just really rotating well, giving themselves opportunities to attack the basket. Everything seems to be kind of clicking right now, and they're really doing a great job of kind of facing adversity. They had that first game where they trailed against Fort Cobb by 18 points at halftime, and then were able to bounce back in it. They had the game over the weekend where they trailed 25-5 and came back and won. And so this team is really showing some adversity, some strength. A great job at making adjustments at halftime, coming out. And it's interesting to see this go. We'll see if they can go 4-0 in their last 4. And that's number 1, Kaylin's Sapple Blanket. Number 11, I do have roster names, but I tell you what, this is an interesting group of names. And I tell you what, just for the sake of respect for the girls, I will do my best on names this evening, so don't hold me too accountable for the last names. We're going to do our best here as we'll rotate between names and numbers. Love this old school approach here, the spotlight. Very neat way to kick it off. Again, just love this gym. It's it's real old, it's old school, but the layout is awesome. I remember coming to this gym about 12 years ago and back in high school days, and this place has been very familiar. It has not changed a whole lot, but they do it right here in Carnegie. It's a unique experience for sure. So now we'll bounce it over to the starting lineup for the Hinton Lady Comets. Got number 11, Haley Combs out there. Number 21, Alyssa Hale. Number 10, Alex Kimball. Number 22, Charlie Van Huss. And the senior, Sierra Weathers, number 24. That rounds out your starting 5 here for the Lady Comets. Of course, Charlie Van Huss in on the tip. And number 23, Elvira Lopez for the Wildcats. I want to thank you guys for joining us here on Friday Night Hoops. So we get set to get this one underway, and the Lady Comets win the tip. So we'll see how they line up defensively as Sierra Weathers leads the offense from the top of the key, quickly cutting it over to Combs. Combs from the wing. And a quick turnover there. It's just kind of making some audio adjustments here. My apologies. All right there, got that all set. Okay, my apologies here. Just had to take a quick break, get the little audio things fixed out here. So straighten this back up. Weathers from the top of the key, kicks that over to Hale. Hale dribbles out of the wing, passes it in, but gets a little luck there as a ball rolls off the shin. As now they're rotating here, and a foul. So tell you what, a lane opened up for Van Huss there, but tough call is that one's on Alex Kimball. So that's her first, and that's their core player. There's Alex Kimball. Of course, all the ladies on the floor important for the Comets, but Alex Kimball, she's their post player. They rely on her a lot. She's been in foul trouble a little bit the past few games, so something to watch out for. Want to stay out of foul trouble as she gets her first. So one team with 5 fouls apiece, and Combs bats that one out of bounds. As the Lady Comets, both teams, ratcheting up the intensity here to start this one. They're coming out guns a-blazing early as inbounding it there to number 23. And she's defended by Van Huss. Looks for a pass. Good job there getting hands up in the face and getting disrupted from 13 feet. The first jumper, that one's no good. Getting a rebound, a little contact there with Kimball as they'll swarm to the ball. And we'll have a jump ball. So possession will stay with Carnegie. And again, just good effort there by Carnegie. Following the shot, just kind of getting in there at the low post, getting the rebound and fighting for the ball as it floats that one up, and a whistle. And she'll go to the stripe to shoot for 2. That's the second team foul for the Lady Comets. And we'll see who they award that foul to, because that one's on Charlie Van Huss. So 1 foul for Van Huss, 1 for Kimball. Here's the game is just about a minute or so underway. Neither team yet to reach the board, as she nets her first one from the free throw line. So Wildcats find the board first. Back to the line here to shoot the second. Second free throw's up, and that one rabbles in and out. Kimball will get the rebound, so Lady Comet ball as they push it here to the other end of the floor. And Hale just getting across the half-court line. Good rotation there, has plenty of space. A defender kind of helped defense as they come down there, and as she tracks Sierra Weathers, and that opens up a clean lane, easy lay-in. First 2 points for the Lady Comets, and then getting a steal there, put up a shot, contact, and one. And there's what we're talking about with Charlie Van Huss. I tell you, the difference between the Lady Comets play this last few games has been Charlie Van Huss. That's the second foul there on number 23. Elvira Lopez nets her basket. 3-point play complete. Inbounding it quick here to Lopez. Lopez will cross out. Has to look for a pass. And she's trying to spin here. Van Huss is applying all the pressure. She escapes. It kind of evades that. Runs right into Kimball. As they'll fight for it here. Just throwing up a shot and a foul. Oh no, they'll say she traveled. So good job there again, just being disruptive, and they get caught slipping there and they walk. So Lady Comet ball again, following the 3-point play. She jets one in there for Weathers. That one sails out of bounds, but they'll say it's off. Last hands touched by number 11. Ball will stay with the Lady Comets. Alyssa Hale will set to inbound. Quick feed in there and definitely contact as that knocks Van Huss to the ground and a foul. So Van Huss, with 5:59 here in the first, all ready to the stripe to shoot her free throws for the second time. As that's the first foul there on Celestia. And misses her first one there, so she's got to kind of settle in, take a deep breath. It's one of the things the Lady Comets, they came into the season, they know that they felt like that was something they were going to improve on. They struggled on that leading up to Christmas break, but over the weekend, the course of the weekend of the tournament, the last few days, they've been shooting better from the stripe. And if you're going to be aggressive, you're going to create fouls and get to the line, you got to take advantage of that by netting your free throws. Good job there by Weathers to get a hand in, then get back to her defender. Driving from the post as they kind of get crossed up there. And looking a little bit, I might see an early timeout here taken by the Wildcats as they're looking a bit scattered offensively, not really set. As the Comets disrupted defense there, and it continues. Kimball with the steal. We'll see if they woe it up as she'll kind of stop, pause for a second. As good leverage there by Weathers. Had to look inside, misses her shot, but Van Huss will save it. Wide open three, doesn't fall, no, off glass. Combs showing off that speed there to swoop in there and give them another second chance bucket. Alyssa Hale using advantage of the space, puts a floater up and contact. So she'll go to the stripe to shoot as the Lady Comets living from the line here early. Is that foul on Kaylin Sappelblanket? That's her first. So the Lady Comets really getting aggressive here. Tell you, they've had a lot of space. They've had a couple of drives or a couple of possessions where they've just been able to drive right to the basket, and about the only way to stop them at that point is just a late foul. And Hale takes advantage of that, 2 for 2 from the stripe. As it's an 8-1 lead, and like I said, surprised that we haven't seen a timeout here taken as they've looked a bit sloppy so far offensively as the Lady Comets have come out firing here, playing aggressive. 14 fouls, of course, for Carnegie. And she has to stop. She puts up a shot. That one's deep from 3, no good. Rebounded by Combs. And she was open, had space. Not such a bad shot. Didn't really have her feet planted. And again, just trying to go coast to coast there. And straight contact, but no call. And the ball will just roll out of bounds. They'll say Wildcat ball. As she tried to use her body and flail her arms and create a foul and try to get to the stripe. But they let them play in that instance, so she'll inbound here. And the Lady Comets kind of playing that full court press, trying to trap. As Weathers pokes the hand, knocks that one out of bounds. The Wildcats are going to have to ratchet things up because the Lady Comets have brought it here early, playing that press, trying to force turnovers here. The Wildcats have a tough time getting their feet for them. You see, she doesn't really have a pass. She's trying to dribble past them and just loses contact of the ball, and that's exactly what happens right there. You've got to get that ball out quick in the situation, and Weathers lays one in. Then with the Lady Comets up 10-1, we're going back to the stripe for another and one. As this place has come alive on the Comet side, absolutely erupting here. An explosive start to the game. As that one rattles around, no good, but Kimball fights for the rebound and a foul. So that's a third team foul and the second on Alex Kimball. So again, you're up 10-1. Got to be careful here. You want to, smart. If you're going to foul, you want it to be smart fouls, and nothing necessarily wrong with that. But your second foul already with just 4:15 here in the first. Got to be careful. She carries there. It's going to be Lady Comet ball, and like I said, 10-1 might not be a bad time to take a timeout, kind of talk some things over as they let them play on. Look at the substitution here as number 14 is going to check in. Number 23 heads to the bench for the Wildcats. Weathers will field the inbound. Good screen there. Kind of pops right back off of it. Van Huss will take it. She loses control of it there. Kind of has to pick up her dribble, pass it, and again, just a wide open space as the help doesn't get there in time, and that just sets up an easy floater for Weathers as it's 12-1 here. And a steal and away, an easy lay-in attempt here for Van Huss. That one rolls around, no good. So-called Wildcats catch a break as they have 3 to the floor. Tough to tell from here who has possession. They'll say tough to see which way they're pointing. They'll have to take a look. And that will stay with the Lady Comets by the looks of it. We're going to get a timeout here taken, and that's after a 12-0 run here as they get 1 point on the board following the early free throw, and then the Comets put 12 on of their own, so a nice 12-0 run here. This is a 60-second timeout, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here in just a moment on HintonComets.tv.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers.
All right, so I want to welcome you back here as midway through the first, 3:38 remaining. Your Comets on a 12-0 run, as it's been all Comets here in the first. Only blemish maybe so far is Alex Kimball with 2 fouls here early. As they're playing a great game here as she kind of tries to, she makes a little contact with a double team there and a foul on the floor. As she gets a block. So that's the first or the second foul for number 1. 16 fouls is 1 away from the bonus. Combs gets that to Weathers. Weathers, she dribbles left, drives, floats one up, and a foul. As she's feeling herself a little bit for the senior. And again, just a little frustration there, a little body language for number 5. It's a tough start here for the Wildcats. We'll see if they can complete the three-point play as Weathers dribbles it from the stripe. Puts it up. That one rattles around, no good. Rebounded by number 1. And she'll apply the pressure here. She needs to pass out of it. Trying to dribble pass. There you go. Got to get that ball out. You got to pass quick. And a foul. And that's a tough foul there. If that's on Sierra, I believe it is. That's a 14 foul. That's a tough foul there. You know, you're up 14-1. No need to foul in that situation. Like applying the pressure there. It's been creating turnovers. It's a good idea. Just a tough penalty there. One you don't need to take as Combs reaches in there and pokes one out. No whistle. Applying the pressure here as they're struggling to get past the half-court line. She needs to get that ball out quick, and that was off the foot of number 14. So Weathers going to try to swarm in there and double with Combs. And a foul. And we'll see here. That's the 8th foul. It's number 14. It's her second, so 8 fouls. As that should be the 1-and-1. Again, let's see as they'll talk things over here. Again with the Carnegie with 18 fouls. Official signaling to shoot the 1-and-1. Now they're going to meet here, kind of congregate in the middle to talk it over. And hearing a little bit of noise on both sides here as they kind of talk some things over. Again, 14-1 here if you're just joining us with 3 minutes left in the first. Not much you can say. I mean, it's been all Lady Comets. They've done everything right. But they've come out with a good game plan. They've kind of come out with the energy. The energy is what's got them this 3-0 run. And they're just kind of keeping it going right now. So they're taking some time to discuss things over. Not exactly sure what they're talking over here. Is that foul was their 8th foul. Lady Comets in the bonus. And love this side here. A lot of support tonight from the Comet fans, especially our basketball boys, as they're sitting right down there behind the Lady Comet bench, giving them all the love and support tonight, making a ton of noise in this gym. You know, it's an old school gym. It's got concrete walls all around it. I don't know if you guys can hear that at home, but it is loud, it is echoey, and it's awesome. It's awesome when you bring the pressure and when you bring the noise like this. It is lighting this place up. Again, you know, coach here for Carnegie not pleased with the call here. So they'll bring him over to this side of the court. As a little bit confused as what's going on here. I think they are a little bit confused as well. As I rotate around here, as they're showing Alyssa Hale to set up to inbound. And again, they're still taking their time here. As we may be a second or two from taking a TV timeout to let them. So okay, we got that underway there. So okay, going to set up to inbound. Sierra Weathers with the ball. She'll dribble right off screen. Kicks it to Hale from the wing. Over to Combs. Combs looks for a feed. Flips it back to Van Huss. Dribbling right is Hale. Good pass there, and again just loses her defender. Ton of space, easy lay-in. 16-1 Comets. As I'm having a good time watching this, forget to update the scoreboard sometimes. Get that scoring right. Boys on our side throwing up the X, throwing up all kinds of signs of support for the Lady Comets. Ball stays with the Wildcats, looking for an inbounds feed. Does. Inbounds it right into a double where Combs and Weathers kind of got mixed together. That foul is going to be on number 11. I think it's on it. Yeah, it's fouling Comets, so it's on the Haley Combs. It's a 5th foul for the Comets. Dribbling right is number 1. Good job there as Combs forces the boundary. She kind of evades, pops up a jumper from 13, and ends the 16-0 drought with a good shot there. A nice jumper. So 16-3, 2:08 left to play in the first. Open three. That one rattles around the back of the rim. She swoops in there, tries to get the rebound, and pokes a hand, and I think it's going to be a foul for a reach. Nope, they're actually going to rule that one. That foul's on us. I believe that foul's on, let's see. Nope, yeah, that foul's on Sierra Weathers, so that's her 2nd foul of the game. 16 foul, so again, both teams kind of getting in foul trouble, so we got a lot of game left to play. Combs applying the pressure from the half-court line, kind of traps her there. She dribbles left out of it and passes up wide. She has to go up and bomb just to get that. And again, tough pass there, not good leverage. Combs had a hand on it, disrupted, created the turnover as she just tried to poke that pass in there and wasn't really open. So Weathers will kick it over to Van Huss. Van Huss with space from 3. Bang! Let it rain, 19-3. With 1:26 left. And a contact on the floor and a foul. And shoot the 1-and-1. And we're going to get a quick break here in the action here. Timeout taken. As that foul's on, looks like they're signaling that foul's on Haley Combs. And so we're going to get some substitutions in as well for the Lady Comets. Charity Ends, number 13 in the game. Jalen Wiedemann, forgot to mention Wiedemann, is checked into the game. Hannah DeVinny, who's playing a lot better as of recent. She's checked into the game as well. And that one falls. And she'll go to the stripe, number 23, to shoot her 2nd free throw. She's got a block out here. And falls there, so 19-5 with 1:23 left. As the Wildcats quickly get 4 points after trailing at 1 point, 17-1. Or 16-1, excuse me. Jalen Wiedemann with a contact there, well defended by the Wildcats. Puts up a jumper and a jump ball. And we'll stay with the Comets as she fell kind of awkwardly there, hitting the back of her head. Hopefully she's okay. And she's kind of grimacing in pain. It's, that is never a good thing in sports, falling down, hitting your head on any surface, regardless whether it's turf, grass, concrete, court surface. Always a tough deal. Such an easy way to injure yourself. And, just playing hard, playing passionate, falling to the ground. as the staff is kind of over there talking to her for just a moment. We'll take a quick break and get right back at you here on HintonComets.tv.
It's what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples, Nix, and Dieselhorst, and we are here to help.
All right, and we're back as she quickly bounces back up. Glad to see that. Love to see her not hurt. Hopefully can get her back out there real soon as DeVinny with ball. 1:03 left here in the first. Lady Comets trying to close it out strong as Ince kind of loses it for a moment. Gets that to Van Hus, flips it back to Hale. Oh, pick and roll there. Nice job. Plenty open off glass. 21-5. Great move there. Crafty by Hannah DeVinny. 41 seconds remaining. Dribbling left. She'll backtrack, spin back. Gets that to 14. Hale sticks a hand in there, tries to create the turnover. And then getting back to the ball, almost getting at it a second time. As an open three there. That one's no good off the back of the rim. 21 gets the rebound. They'll spot up another shot. That one's off the front of the rim. Sails out of bounds. And they'll say it'll stay with the Wildcats. Not sure if that touched Wiedemann or DeVinny before rolling out of bounds. But that'll set up the inbounds play there. Number 1 gets it up top. Number 2 inbounds it. Has the dribble there. Oh, man, yeah, not a good screen there. Moving screen and contact. Easy foul there. And not one you want with 17 seconds left and 9 fouls apiece. So Hale get to inbound here. It'll be Comet possession with 17 left. Is this maybe the last possession of the quarter? Excuse me. Ends. Oh, tough pass there. She reads that one well. Turnover, 2-on-1, fast break. Puts it up off the front of the rim. Van Hus gets the rebound. 5 seconds left. Stolen away. They're going to get one last shot attempt. Open three. And that's it. And the Comets, after playing nearly a flawless quarter, give up a three there. But it's been all Lady Comets as they lead 21-8 here in the first. We're going to take a quick break and be back for the start of the second quarter right here on HintonComets.tv.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system? Give the experts at Versatile Networks a call. In most cases, we can provide a phone system with brand new phones for less than your current monthly bill. Call us for a free quote today.
Allegiant Marketing Group produces inbound lead generation for our clients through integrated traditional and digital campaigns. We continuously develop new strategies, tactics, and productive...
All right, back underway here. Start of the second quarter. All Comets so far leading 21-8. It's been a fun one so far. A lot of fouls on both ends. It's been a lengthy first quarter as it was almost a 30-minute quarter. And again, part of that with the number of fouls. They had to sort some things over. As some contact there as she shoots a three, but it's not going to count as that fouls on Charlie Van Hus. And again, with both teams in the bonus, this could be another extended quarters. It's been a whistle-heavy game so far as number 1 will go to the stripe to shoot. And again, that's one thing you want to do here. You know, you want to avoid your leading 21-8. Everything's been going your way. You're playing well. You want to stay out of foul trouble. And you know, when you're up like this, it's a good opportunity to stay out of foul trouble. You have players like Charity Inns, and Charity's real athletic, going to be a great player, real young, just a freshman. You know, Jalen Wiedemann, she's been doing a great job. You get a chance to kind of go to the bench here, go to your depth, and try to keep some of your starters out of foul trouble as they try to double her up there and trap her in the corner, and that forced her to make a difficult throw, and the Wildcats are rewarded with a turnover. It's a good job there by the Wildcats. because that's what you want to do. You want, in that situation, you want to trap her in the corner and force a tough throw. So inbounding it to number 1 there, and then laying a screen as Hannah kind of works around it. Pass it over to 23. 5 sets a screen, kind of moving there. Good feed there backside. One of the better looking possessions of the night for Carnegie is they've kind of gotten this one back in within 10. Of course, Lady Comets playing from the bench is Charity. She'll pull a 3. That one's a little too far. Good job by Van Nuss there getting the rebound as she'll go right to the basket. Hesitate and kick it back to the corner. So Alyssa Hale will slow it up, looking right. Drive off screen, flips it back to Van Nuss. Van Nuss will pull a 3. That one's no good as DeVinny fights to the floor. And a jump ball. Fighting to the floor there with number 1. Possession will stay with the Lady Comets, and I'd love to see that effort. So Alyssa Hale will set up the inbound. Oh man, thought they had an opportunity there. Charity Enns was kind of rotating wide open. Top of the perimeter, they try to feed it in and has a double team down low. Good job by the Wildcats there, although the ball possession will stay with the Lady Comets. This time feeding it up top to DeVinny. DeVinny getting it to Charity. Charity will pull a jumper just a little bit too far. So she gets her own rebound though. Second chance points. An opportunity here for the Comets as they're extending this possession. Hale kind of loses possession of it there, and she's signaling for a timeout. And they're saying she walked, what I believe we call, I think in that opportunity she's calling a timeout, because I think that's what we were looking at, is Coach Lindenberg was signaling timeout, not one called. About to jump out of the gym waiting on this situation, so I believe she'll be awarded the timeout. This has been an interesting game so far. You know, it's been some fun Friday night officiating for this crew so far. So 60-second timeout. We'll take one too right here on HintonComets.tv.
Efficiencies so you can reach your target market and get a measurable return on investment. This fast-paced world demands for your products and services to be presented at the moment your buyers need them. Targeted and innovative marketing creates your success. Call AMG today, your marketing partner.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
2 words: cash back. 2 more.
All right, coming out of the timeout. Lady Comet ball. Miley Daigle is checked into the game. Alex Kimball back in the game for the Comets. Flipping it over there to Hale. Hale off the screen. Good job there to close the space as they'll continue to rotate. She kind of has to pass out of that to avoid the walk. Back over to Daigle. Daigle moving around the screen. Kind of sloppy possession here, and throws that one out wide. Is trying to get set up offensively and just kind of out of sync on rotation that possession. So the Lady Comets kind of, they went on a really big run in the first quarter, and it's been a minute since they've found the board. Of course, a lot of substitution, rotating some different ladies in, so 6:07, still a 10-point game. Tries to feed it in there at the elbow, and they'll say Lady Comet ball. So tried to feed it to her at the elbow as she was driving to the basket, but just lost possession of it. Didn't really quite field the pass well. And so Daigle will have it for the Lady Comets. Crossing the half-court line, is looks like they're defensively still in that 2-3 as they're trying to set up to where they can get rebounds down there under the post or in the glass. Wildcat ball. Dribbling right. Vinny applies the pressure. And she gets a screen from number 5, but then cuts from back to the right. And not the best ball handling there on that possession as that one rolls out of bounds. Will stay with the Wildcats. As again, it's been tough sledding here. They went on a little run in the second, but it's been, Comets have really locked down defensively as she makes contact with Van Huss. That knocks her to the ground. And a foul on the floor. And that's on Charlie Van Huss. So something to be careful here. Charlie Van Huss already getting her third foul of the game with 5:22 in the second. And she's one of those players, we've talked about, is a very important player to Lady Comets. She's kind of grimacing there. You hope she's okay as she took a hard fall to the floor. As she's been perhaps one of their most important players in this 3-0 stretch. And still kind of grimacing in pain. You hope everything's okay as she's trying to play through it. Brianna Ramirez is going to come in and check, so she'll head to the bench. As Ramirez gets down there at the low post to block out here for this second free throw as she makes her first. Shooting her second. That one rolls around, no good. Kimball swats it. Lady Comet ball. Anna travels. Things getting a little bit dicey here as the lead has been cut back down to 9. As this was a 17-4 ball game or 16-4 ball game at one point in time. Now sits at a 9-point ball game. Is the Wildcats trying to muscle and fight their way back in this one as she hesitates there. Deep three from another zip code. That one's off the front of the rim, no good. Oh man, fighting to the floor there is number 5. And she falls there with one leg kind of extended out. And a whistle. And so that'll put in the double bonus here with 10 fouls. As that's the third foul on Alex Kimball. So we got two starters here, Charlie Van Huss and Alex Kimball with 3 fouls apiece. Something to keep an eye on here is they're going to have to rely on the bench to do a little work for them tonight, as it's been a foul-heavy game so far. Carnegie with 9 fouls, the Lady Comets with 10. So Sierra Weathers, Miley Daigle, Brianna Ramirez in the game, and Jalen Wiedemann, of course, and Alyssa Hale. So that's currently your 5 on the floor here with 5:02 remaining. 8-point ball game. As this lead has shrunk a little bit, Ramirez with a ton of space. She'll pull from 10 feet. That one rattles around, no good. Ball sails out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lady Comets. Good job there. Down at the block. As that one was last touched by the Wildcats. So Hale jets that one into Weathers. As Weathers will have it here from the top of the key with 4:46 remaining. Flipping that back over from the wing is Hale. Gets it to the corner as they'll rotate around. Losing control there and fighting for the turnover. So another turnover, this time number 2. She'll stop and pop. That one looks good, but doesn't fall. And so now Weathers, good pass there. 2-on-1 in the fast break, but number 21 kind of sticks an arm and a leg in there and gets that one out of bounds. The possession will stay with the Lady Comets. So Alyssa Hale has to get this out to avoid the 5-second. Does just in time as Daigle fields the inbounds pass. She'll pull up a 3. That one rattles around off glass. No good. Rebounded by number 5. Has to get this out quickly as Weathers thinks about it for a moment there. It gets checked towards the half-court line and kind of loses her loses her offensive player. And a tough shooting foul there. As she just kind of drives straight to the basket, tries to put up a shot, and the Lady Comets going straight down. As that foul will be on Jalen Wiedemann. That's just her first of the game. And that'll send number 23 to the stripe to shoot her pair of free throws. Here in the double bonus. As that one gets the benefit of the rim as it rattles around, tips the glass, and falls back in. And we're looking at a 7-point ball game. It's Carnegie continuing to muscle and fight here as the Lady Comets trying to weather the storm. Second free throw falls. 6-point ball game. 4:09 remaining. Ramirez will check it into Weathers. As they've had some opportunities. Shots just not falling the last few minutes for the Comets. Daigle passes it. Ramirez has space. Quickly closing the gap. Passes out of it as Hale will drive. Hale puts up a jumper there. Tough one there. Well contested by the Wildcats. As again, they're kind of playing that zone. They're trying to, force them to take outside shots as the Comets still trying to attack from the inside. And along that short corner post area, it hasn't been working. It's a mixture of shots not falling and better defense here from the Wildcats than they showed in the first quarter. Number 2 kind of has to field that pass as it swings out wide, almost loses control of it. Regathers herself, checks it to number 1. Number 1 will cross Daigle. And then a tough pass there is, again, the sloppy possession here with 3:25. Need to slow it down. Instead, number 23 will take matters in her own hands, throw her body out, trying to show a shooting attempt and a foul. And so they'll call the foul there. That's on Jalen Wiedemann. That's her second. So number 23 will go back to the stripe again, as she's had multiple free throw attempts this second quarter, with a chance to cut this lead down even a little bit further. As that one sails in. 5-point ball game. Trying to go 2 for 2 here from the stripe. Wiedemann and Ramirez set to try to get the rebound, but the second one falls. 4-point game. Weathers with 3:19 remaining as Comets in a scoring drought here. Desperately need some points. Need to get something rolling here offensively. Daigle, she'll charge, kind of loses her footing, gets tripped up. As that foul's on the Wildcats, that'll be their 10th foul, so both teams in the double bonus. As that's the third foul, number 21, so Miley Daigle at the stripe to shoot her first free throws of the night. Trying to end this scoring drought for the Lady Comets. Free throw is up, and that one rattles around. So the drought continues as number 11 will check in here as 21 heads to the bench. Taking a dribble or two here. Second free throw is up. And that one rattles around no good. So 0-2 from the stripe. Tough sledding there. 4-point ball game with 3:06. Lady Comets trying to stop the bleeding. She'll rotate out of it. Flips it back to number 2. Dribbling left. A little bit of space opens up. She pulls a deep three. Tries to make this a 1-point game. That one's no good. Second chance points from number 5 and a foul. I think that's on Ramirez. I believe that's her first foul of the game. It is the 11th foul. Plenty of fouls to go around here in this first half for both teams. I'll tell you what, first half here, there'll be a lot to talk about when we come back from halftime. We've seen about everything. We've seen about a week's worth of events here in the first half as she cuts that one down going 1 for 2. 3-point ball game as we are as narrow of a lead now as we had at the beginning of the game. And good job there by DeVinny. Turning around, floating it up, and the foul. And that's just what the Comets needed there to try to end the drought, as that's the second foul there on number 5. And she'll try to complete the 3-point play. And that one's up, that one falls. So good job there by DeVinny. Some much needed points here to kind of swing a little momentum back in their favor. That's back out at 6-point game. Number 23 passing it to 1, plenty of space. She hesitates, thinks about it. Number 11 takes it from the corner. That one's no good. Getting the rebound here and putting up the second chance points. That one doesn't fall. Weathers bats it in there, tries to get it back with the Lady Comets. They'll pull another 3. That one's offline, rattles around. How about a 4th chance here for the Wildcats? And she'll kind of woe it up, kick it to 1 from the wing. 1 flips it back to 23. Oh, feeds it inside, has some space. Good use of the glass there. The shot doesn't fall as DeVinny, it falls to the floor. And Wiedemann down there with them. So we get a jump ball. So that was really Wiedemann there late, getting to the floor and scraggling there in the jump ball. Yeah, so possession will stay with the Wildcats as they get it right. 2 minutes remaining. Inbounding it there up top, number 2, kicks it to the corner. Gap quickly closes. She makes a little contact with Hale. And a foul. And that foul's on Alyssa Hale. That's her first. So you get a foul, you get a foul. Everyone gets a foul of the night. She'll go to the stripe to shoot. Both teams in the double bonus. As that one's no good. Once again, this has been the tale of two quarters, first and second quarter. Very eventful, plenty to talk about here. As she misses hers, goes 0-2, and Deviney's going to fight there as Daigle has to pass out of it really quickly. Weathers driving quick. She's going to take matters in her own hands, goes up, and a foul. Good job there by Weathers, the senior. Just smart ball play. You know the kind of game that they're calling right now. If you're making a shooting attempt, there's any relatively decent contact, they're sending you to the stripe. So smart play there by Weathers as she goes to shoot. And that'll kick this back out to a 7-point game as the Lady Comets finding the scoreboard here late in the second quarter. After the Wildcats brought it down to 3. Second free throw attempt, that one's up, rattles around and in. Clutch buckets there, 2 for 2 from the senior. Minute 49 remaining. Flipping that over to number 2, dribbling back left. Once again, they're kind of 5 out right now. Rotating around, good job there, good awareness by Hale, 1-on-1. We'll see if they make contact late, and they won't. They'll give up the layup. As Alyssa Hale makes easy work. Back out to a 10-point game. Number 1 dribbles around. Hale gets a hand in there. Goes straight up off glass. No good. Fighting for the rebound. It'll stay with the Wildcats. Good job there by Hale. SWAT team out. As she'll take the fast break there. Woe it up. Gets it to Deviney. Good pass there. Has the leverage inside. Puts up a shot as Weathers. No good. So opportunity kind of missed there. As number 2, she'll take matters in her own hands. She might go coast to coast. Little contact, but it's after the ball is out. Now Deviney has it with under a minute left. Passes it out in front to Hale. Oh, man. And just an interesting call there. That'll be Deviney's first. And like I said, everyone's getting a foul here in the first half. If you don't have a foul, you're getting one here in the first. You get a foul, you get a foul. Everyone gets a foul. 48 seconds left. In a half that has felt like a game of itself. All kinds of action. Tries to feed it there at the low post. Number 5 has to dribble out of it. Gets trapped in the corner. Sloppy possession here. We'll see if Weathers can shore it up. She does. Nobody there. Easy lay-in. And rewarded with the buckets. 30-18. 29 seconds remaining. Number 1. From the top of the key, floats it there. Good shot, uses the glass, no good. 5, a second chance bucket. That one falls, 10-point game. 13 seconds left, likely the last possession. You'd like to see him slow it down a little bit here. Have one last shot, open 3, Weathers, bang! Like rain. She's gonna have to drop one from half court as that's not close. So your Comets make it a little scary there, but then break it back open with some late momentum here in the second. As they lead 33-20 here at the end of the first half. Don't go anywhere. Take a much-needed break. It has been a wild one so far, and I'm sure the second's going to have much more action to bring. The Lady Comets leading 33-20. We'll be back here in just a few minutes for the start of the second half right here on HintonComets.tv.
Words, you're welcome. Remember that jar in your dresser where you would throw your loose change at the end of the day? Then occasionally, you take the jar to the bank to have it counted and enjoy a bit of a surprise to find there is more in there than you thought. That's Square One Banking, the account with a virtual money jar, and it's offered exclusively by Legacy Bank.
The industry.
Christianity is about walking by faith, living with hope, and sharing our love. And the greatest of these is love. We love God, our neighbors, and one another, and we would be delighted for you to come share the love of God with us at the Hinton Church of Christ, 307 South Spencer in Hinton, Oklahoma. Join us on Sundays for Bible classes for all ages at 9 a.m., worship at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., and midweek Bible study on Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Stream with Pioneer iVideo and more. Live, recorded, on demand, all in HD. Easily find and watch your favorite shows and movies. Anywhere. On any device. Perfect for the entire family. And easy to use. Enjoy Pioneer iVideo today.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system? Give the experts at Versatile Networks a call. In most cases, we can provide a phone system with brand new phones for less than your current monthly bill. Call us for a free quote today.
Allegiant Marketing Group produces inbound lead generation for our clients through integrated traditional and digital campaigns. We continuously develop new strategies, tactics, and productive efficiencies so you can reach your target market and get a measurable return on investment. This fast-paced world demands for your products and services to be presented at the moment your buyers need them. Targeted and innovative marketing creates your success. Call AMG today, your marketing partner.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
2 words, cashback. 2 more words, you're welcome. Remember that jar in your dresser where you would throw your loose change at the end of the day? Then occasionally, you take the jar to the bank to have it counted and enjoy a bit of a surprise to find there is more in there than you thought. That's Square One Banking, the account with a virtual money jar, and it's offered exclusively by Legacy Bank.
The industry.
Christianity is about walking by faith, living with hope, and sharing our love. and the greatest of these is love. We love God, our neighbors, and one another, and we would be delighted for you to come share the love of God with us at the Hinton Church of Christ, 307 South Spencer in Hinton, Oklahoma. Join us on Sundays for Bible classes for all ages at 9 a.m., worship at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., and midweek Bible study on Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Stream with Pioneer iVideo and more. Live, recorded, on demand, all in HD. Easily find and watch your favorite shows and movies. Anywhere. On any device. Perfect for the entire family.
All right, we're back here. Getting ready to get the third quarter, second half underway. As was an eventful first half. If you were not here, you missed a lot. And we'll see what the second half unfolds, what it brings us. As the Lady Comets starting possession here, Ailey Combs, Charlie Van Huss, Alex Kimball, as she'll pull the first three. That one sails. Sierra Weathers and Alyssa Hale, that's your starting five on the floor before I could even get that out. Sierra Weathers showing it off. Puts the first points in the second half on the board for the Comets. So we're back at a 16-point game as this one got a little bit close. In the second quarter, got down to 3, but the Lady Comets have busted it wide back open here. Good job by Kimball. Getting that rebound, blocking out. Weathers looks for a pass, gets that to Hale. Hale from the key. Rotates that over to Combs as they'll kind of start their rotation here. She'll fake the backside, get that to Kimball. Backward to Weathers, just kind of eating a little bit of clock here. Is, one of the things to kind of watch out here for is you had two starters that got in foul trouble. A lot of fouls called from both teams. So, with a 16-point lead, it's not a bad deal to kind of try to extend the possession here and get the best or most favorable look there. Is Van Huss, she'll get the second chance points and rewarded with the shooting foul. As that was a good look there by Alyssa Hale. And really a good possession. You had about everything you wanted there. You chewed some clock off. You got a good look open from the lane, and you got a little help from Charlie Van Huss on the other side, and she nets her first one. Second free throw rattles around, no good, but Kimball's going to get the rebound. So a chance to put more points on the board. Van Huss floats it up. That one's no good. Rebounded by number 5. 17-point ball game. Charging here is number 23 as she'll just go straight up and the foul. And as again, if you're the Wildcats, that's got to be the plan here in the second half. Is this is just the kind of game that's being called. Is any contact when driving to the basket seems to be a shooting foul in this game. As that's the second foul on Alyssa Hale. Your goal here is you're trailing. You got to attack the basket. You got to try to get some of these girls in foul trouble here in the second half. But you got two starters with 3 fouls. You give yourself an opportunity at the line as, they try some three-point attempts and not shooting from a very high percentage from the three-point line in the first half. As they got to get away from that, get aggressive, take advantage of the kind of game that they're being presented with the officiating crew on hand. As she goes 1 for 2 from the stripe. Weathers. Good pass there. Nice job by Van Huss. And a foul. And so Van Huss, again, strap yourselves in. This is already a similar mirroring to the first half of the ball game. As both teams were living on the line, Van Huss puts her shot up, makes it. Second free throw is up. That one rattles around, no good. Rebounded by number 2. So number 1 will take it. Dribbling across half-court line from the top of the key. Shifting left and back right. Passes that to 23. Little ball movement here on the perimeter. There's no one inside, kind of 5 out, and then 2 rotate back in. Deep 3 ball there as that one goes out of bounds. Following the air ball, Lady Comet possession. Van Huss inbounding it to Weathers. And again, I like that possession they had a couple of possessions ago, just kind of extending the clock, getting a good open look. I'd like to see them continue to do that as help comes in late, but I tell you what, good shot there by the senior, floats it right up, makes it look easy. As Sierra Weathers having one of her better games of the season. She's up in double-digit points. Taking it out from the corner as number 11 passes it in, but it's right at the feet. And so that'll lead into a turnover as they're moving quickly here. Weathers, she's going to put up a shot, a little contact, and an offensive foul. So that's a 3rd foul for Sierra Weathers, and we're going to get a timeout here taken as both teams, again, 5:18 in the third with 2 fouls apiece. Coach Lindenberg is going to talk some things over, and we'll stay right here on HintComets.tv as it's just a 30-second timeout. So, again, we talked about the Lady Comets. One of the things that they've done well here is, they've done a really good job attacking from inside the basket. They've taken their threes when the opportunity is there, but they really haven't had to do that. We've seen a couple pick-and-roll opportunities. We've seen, that rotation work well from them off screen where, the lane kind of opens up. Sometimes the help defense gets a little late, and that creates opportunities, and then you got to finish. When you get the opportunity, you got to put up the shots and make them, and they've had some help here. Of course, the senior Sierra Weathers has played great tonight. Charlie Van Huss has had a good game. And from this point on, just continue to lock up defensively and try to stay out of foul trouble and, again, be aware of the type of game that's being called from this officiating crew. As they're kind of staying in that 2-3 zone by the looks of it. Yeah, 3 defenders down there in the paint, 2 on the perimeter. Flipping it there, dangerous pass, and Weathers gets a hand in there late, and she'll back off. Smart decision there from the senior. So possession will stay with the Wildcats. As she flips that back, good disruption here as, again, just a tough-looking possession so far, having a tough time gathering themselves to control the ball as that one goes in and out through the hands of number 11, sailing out of bounds, Lady Comet ball. So that's good defense right there, smart, not fouling, and it started with Sierra Weathers, and then just getting their hands up and getting disruptive. They never really had solid possession of the ball. This is kind of a loose ball the last few seconds there of that possession. Now on the other end is Hale. She dribbles right and tries to get that into Van Huss, who kind of backs up for just a second and is able to shore up the ball, puts up a shot, and the shot up doesn't fall, but it rolls out of bounds off a Wildcat, so it'll stay with the Comets. And Alyssa Hale will set up for the inbounds play. As Kimball from the elbow, she puts up a jumper. That one looks pretty. Smooth, fluid, and a 21-point ball game. Largest lead of the night for the Comets. And a good time to have a lead like that, too, here in the second half. Alyssa Hale gets a hand in there. Cross-court pass. Short up there, number 2. Pass kind of behind her. Has a tough 3 there, well contested by Hale. And she'll gather up her own rebound as that shot goes off the side of the rim. Another 3-ball attempt. That one's not close. As again, the 3-ball just hasn't been falling for the Wildcats. They've definitely put up shot opportunities. You'd expect them to do that, especially trailing by 21. As another deep 3-ball attempt. But the rebounds have been there on this possession as it rattles around as the Lady Comets. And I think part of that, again, is the way they're playing right here. But you also want to avoid, getting in any silly fouls. You're trailing by 21. You want to avoid the fouls there, trying to get the rebound. So, Wildcats just being a little bit more aggressive that's what you would expect, trailing by 21 as that ball goes out of bounds. So they'll inbound it there to number 1, 3:12 remaining. It's been all Lady Comets here in the second half. Driving is number 1, tries to create a little space. Nice floater there, kind of a floater / hook shot in the paint. And so the senior Weathers will flip it as she looks for a second there. I tell you what, thought about passing it to Hale and then just saw the opportunity and took it, tacked the basket, and got the easy points. So Kimball having herself a solid third quarter. And on the other end, rolling off the screen, as Hale gets a hand in there and creates a turnover and tries to pass out of it in a jump ball. Good job there by Alyssa Hale. Getting a couple fingertips on the ball and just getting that out without getting the reach. We talk about, I give a lot of credit to Charlie Van Hust, but I tell you what, Alyssa Hale, she has played some great ball this last week, and that's one of the things she's done too. She's just been a very disruptive player, very active, very disruptive, all the buzzwords, all the right words you like to hear in the game of basketball. And that makes things tough. It makes things tough on the offense. It, creates opportunities for turnovers and gives yourselves more of a chance, more chances to score. And her and Charlie have both done that. There's hook shot there. That one doesn't fall. Kimball from the baseline has to pass out of it and does. And they double her down there, so good pass. Van Hust will take it here on the other end. Gets it to Weathers. Weathers hesitates. She'll take advantage of the space. Nice move there. Shot doesn't fall. Combs wrestling to the floor and a jump ball. And again, Combs, she's had one of the quieter games so far for the Comets, as she's usually one of their leading scorers. Has been kind of quiet so far in this game. Open three there from Van Hust. That one's off the front of the rim, no good. Weathers in the corner, passes out of it. Good pass there. Look at that post move. That'll set up the ISO 3 ball. That was no good off glass. Van Hust, she fights for the rebound and some contact. He'll stay with the Lady Comets, and she kind of gets rattled around there at the short corner. And so Hale set up quick feed there, back out, hesitates for the corner three, as that's a travel. Indeed. Not a bad idea there, just a travel and a little turnover. Again, up 44-23, not a big deal. And something you like to see, take a deep sigh of relief, minute 42 here in the third. Getting heckled by some of the fans here. I think I should probably get a bonus for this. I'm getting heckled by some of the fans. It's all right. All right, number one, setting up for the inbounds play. Trying to look for a feed. Good job there by Hale to cut that one off. And she gets it out just in time to avoid the 5 second. Good job, and there's Hale again, creating the turnover. Just as she tries to pass it there, a nifty pass, but the Wildcats were all over that one as that one sets up there. But again, that doesn't take away from what Hale's been doing. That was a great job getting the steals. She just tries to squeeze a pass in there, doesn't quite get away with it. But again, Hale having a terrific game as Weathers will dribble right, opposite side of the screen. Now Van Hust flipping it to Combs. Combs back out to Van Hust. Van Hust shoots it to the corner. Oh, losing possession there. Good job by Combs to short up. As Van Hust waving her hands over there on the wing, but instead Kimball will attack the basket and get the foul. And so I was about to say a minute ago, both teams started out in the second quarter. It was a quick 2 fouls from both teams, and since then it's been a lot cleaner rest of the quarter. Is just the third foul of the quarter. The fourth one on number 24 is to get a pair of subs. Number 2 and number 5 will check in for number 21 and number 10 of Lady Bobcats. Or Wildcats, excuse me. Kimball will go to shoot her second. And that one rolls around, so she'll be 1 for 2 from the stripe. 45-25 ball game, under a minute left in the third. Deep 3 ball there off glass. And for the first time in quite some time, as the Wildcats get a 3 ball to fall, and they needed it too, trailing by 20. Kimball, she'll just stop and pop from the elbows. That one's no good. Had plenty of space there to make some contact. No whistle. Ball will still out of bounds. And it will be Wildcat ball with 22 seconds remaining. So we'll see if they slow it up here and make this the last possession of the third. Or can the Comets create a turnover and get one more look at this before the end of the quarter? As Hale will meet there. She'll check off. Combs. Meet her there, back to 14. Trying to get a setup here from the wing. Pass it back over as number 14 kind of loses it. Tough possession here. There's nothing really, and they just Good job there. They locked down defensively as that was a sloppy possession by the Wildcats. Really nothing there, so good job there. Way to end the quarter by the Lady Comets as they lead 45-28 here at the end of the third. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here for the start of the fourth quarter right here on HintonComets.tv.
And easy to use. Enjoy Pioneer iVideo today.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are.
All right, I want to welcome you back here to the start of the fourth quarter. Your Lady Comets leading 45-28. As it's been all Comets here for the second half. Doing a better job, being a little bit smarter with the ball, staying out of foul trouble. With just 2 team fouls, the Wildcats of 3 as they'll pull the first 3 of the fourth quarter. Number 14 gets the rebound, but that one's poked out. Not quite sure who got a hand in there, wasn't quite looking. But it'll stay with the Wildcats as number 1 will set up to inbounds. Kind of pump fakes there, gets that to number 23 and then back to 1. As number 5 goes to set her screen, runs face-to-face in with Hale. So Combs has it here on the other end. She just puts up a shot, uses her body and a foul. And she kind of flails her arms. Does a good job there of creating contact on the shot, as that was a tough shot in the first place. So smart use of the body there to get herself to the stripe to shoot, as that's the 3rd foul on number 14 of the Wildcats. So first free throw attempts of the fourth quarter belong to Haley Combs. And the first one up, that one falls. Takes a dribble, gets to the line, second free throw, that one's in, 2 for 2. Inbounding that a little back and forth here. Going for the feed there from the short corner. Quick jumper, 10 feet out, no good. Kimball fights for that rebound. Back to Weathers. Weathers kind of cutting to the left side here. Now Combs from the top of the key. And she backs up towards that half-court line. They need to get away from that. Hale does a good job there. Passes it to Kimball. Tough pass there as she faces a double. Got to be somebody open. Weathers, a lot of space. She'll just drive and take matters in her own hands, as that one's no good. And like to see him take advantage. You got 3 defenders underneath the basket, essentially. You're going to have an ISO situation. Somebody open there at top 3. Of course, leading by this, too. I'm sure their mindset is you don't want to pull any 3 balls when you're leading by this amount of points. Want to get yourself set up with high percentage looks. And we get a timeout here taken by the Comets. So a little timeout to talk some things over as they lead 47-28. Want to remind everybody, of course, after this game, we're going to have the boys game starting right up. This is 30-second timeout, so we'll stay right here on HintonComets.tv. Boys game will be following after this, as it's been a lengthy girls game. It's 7:43. This game started at 6:30, so it's been a lengthy game thus far. The boys will play right after this. Want to remind everybody, of course, that will be on a separate link. So here, if you're on HintonComets.tv, you're at the right place. We're going to start it on a different stream. So when the boys game starts, you're going to want to close out of this and get onto the next stream, and that'll be the boys game starting. So it'll be about 10 minutes between both of those games. So the boys game will be following shortly after this here on a Friday night. So you got Alyssa Hale, Sierra Weathers, Alex Kimball, Haley Combs, and Charlie Van Husher, 5 on the floor here. 6:39 remaining in the fourth. Inbounding that to Combs. Combs defended by number 1. Flips that over to Kimball. Kimball shoots it to Weathers, and Weathers just kind of going straight up, trying to use that body and put a shot up, but doesn't get to do that, and ball rolls out of bounds. No, they are going to say that is a... Okay, they are going to give her the shooting foul. My apologies. And so that'll send Weathers to the stripe to shoot. So she does get awarded with the shooting fouls, and that's the second foul on number 2 for the Wildcats. She misses her first. Now shooting her second. That one rolls around the front of the rim. No good, but Van has her second chance points, and she gets a lot of contact down there under the goal. She's been knocked around a lot in this game. She's played a hard-fought physical game. Now rotating here, led by Weathers. Back over to Van Huss, checks it back to Weathers. As they're kind of just rotating here. Right from the middle is Kimball, back over to Hale. Hale cutting back left to right. Sets the screen for a moment, but she'll dribble left side, back to Hale. Quick ball movement here as they're kind of just jetting around, but Van Huss loses it. And Van Huss is kind of signaling something here. Not sure, she's grabbing her wrist. She's grabbing her wrist on the left side. And she kind of signaled to Coach Lindenberg and said something to the nature of, I can't something, and then grabbing her left wrist. So again, like we said earlier in the game, she's been banged up a lot. She's played a hard-fought physical game. So something that's happened to her earlier has got her grabbing that left wrist. So we get a full timeout here taken. We're going to stay right here on HintonComets.tv. So just reminding everyone that next week we got a lot of action here coming up. But first of all, of course, we've got junior high finishing out the Caddo County tournament. That starts tomorrow. That's at Apache. The girls and boys will be playing. I believe the boys are playing for 5th place, and the girls are playing for 3rd place tomorrow at Apache. And I think that first game starts at 11, and the next game starts at 12. So girls and boys playing at 11 and 12 at Apache tomorrow. Hopefully I have that correct. And then, of course, next week, exciting time here is we get to take a little break. We get to be some fans next week. You know, we follow this team around. Call on HintonComets.tv. Have a great time doing that. But it's Caddo County tournament time, and so both boys and girls will be playing in that Caddo County tournament, and it's a good time. It's a lot of fun. We get to sit back, be fans, support the Comets. So that's at Anadarko, of course, like it generally is. So come on out and support your Comets. Number 1 with possession of the ball. Passes that over to number 2. Over to 23, who's going to pull a 3 from the wing. That one, good. So 16-point ball game in the closing minutes here of the 4th quarter. As your Comets trying to put the nail in the coffin here and get another good win and go 4-0 in their last 4 games. Alyssa Hale flips to Kimball. Kimball driving right. Kind of 5 out and rotating here. Good job. Nice fake there. Loses her defender off glass. Easy lay-in. And what a game for the senior. And she may be approaching her season high in points, as she's having one of the better games I can remember her having in quite some time. It's been a good showing from the senior. She's such a good kid, such a great softball player. Love rooting for her. Good to see her showing out here tonight. And Hannah just can use her body and pop up a shot, but they'll say offensive foul. As she has her feet set, takes a charge. And the Wildcats will be awarded with possession. It's the second foul on Hannah DeVinny. So good news is, though, of course, just 3 team fouls here in the second half. After a eventful, let's put it that way, first half. Both teams in the double bonus that first half. 14 flipping it over 23. She'll drive, faces a double, has to pass out of it. As a matter of fact, she's not going to do that. She's going to stop and pop. And a tough shot there, so Lady Comets will take that all day. And now Haley Combs with 4:30 to play. Pass it right to Hale. Hale, she'll flip it over. So we'll see if they, good rotation there. We'll see if they chew up a little clock as Weathers runs into some contact with number 23 as the rough game, the physical game continues. Kimball spins around and gets it back to Weathers. And this is what you like to see. You know, a smart possession here, chew up a lot of the clock. Get yourself a good look here. You know, you're leading by nearly 20 points, leading by 18. No reason to rush around here. Make them come up and play you. Hale, she dribbles right, and there's the foul. As they chew off about 30 seconds on that possession alone. Of course, they'll get to continue it here, as that's the 6th foul for the Wildcats. Alyssa Hale will set up for the inbounds play, getting a quick substitution here. So number 1 checks to the bench, 11 back in the ball game. And that was the 4th foul on number 14, as they're in a similar situation. They got a lot of players in foul trouble, so as she goes straight up, puts up a shot. And they'll say that foul's on number 24. It's a tough foul there, and I'm not sure if she was quite planted or not, but they'll call that foul on Sierra Weathers, so that's her fourth. Of course, not really an issue here with 3:38 left to play. Another three-ball attempt. That one's no good. Off the rim there as Hale leaps up and away to get that rebound. Now Kimball. She dribbles right as both of her defenders kind of stop there. Good pass and shot falls. And so Hannah DeVinny finds the net. 20-point ball game. Got to give a shout out to the great Jennifer Holman working the camera tonight, along with Jared, rotating in and out. 5-time state winning cheer coach. That one rattles around, rebounded by number 21, so that shot doesn't fall. 20-point ball game, 3:18 left. 23, pass back over to number 2, kind of hesitates for a moment, flips it back 23 from the wing here, dribbling around left side. Tries to cross, loses her defender for a second, but then loses her dribble and has to short up. DeVinny comes crashing in there. Jump ball, so the possession will go back to the Lady Comets. So again, I like their idea on that last possession. Chew up a lot of clock, try to get a smart look here. You've got 3 minutes left, you lead by 20, no need to rush here. Get set, get in your rotation. Try to chew up as much clock as you can. If they got to come up and foul, then they got to come up and foul. And that's a tough pass there. Good job by Carnegie. But look at Combs showing off that cross-country speed. And a quick check foul there, as they're going to be in the bonus. So that's the 8th foul, and the 3rd on number 2. So again, that'll be a 1-and-1. So Haley Combs, who I feel like has had a good game, but a quiet game, puts up her first shot of the 1-and-1, makes that. So she'll go back to the stripe to shoot once more. And Haley Combs, I tell you what, she's a great free throw shooter. She had a situation in the tournament last weekend where she actually got to the perimeter and was fouled and had to make 3 clutch free throws to put them in a position to win that game, and she did. She's a great free throw shooter. And a great shooter, great all-around player, but she has been really clutch from the stripe. There's a little bit of contact, little reach, and a foul. And I think they're saying that foul is on Alyssa Hale, maybe. Yep, that is. And that's her 3rd foul of the game. Again, not a big issue. Leading by 21 with 2:30 left. Foul's not really an issue at this point. Inbounding it there from the corner, dribbling out is number 23, met by Hale. Hale sticks a hand in there. Now she'll check up to 14. Oh, good pass there. Just has to turn around, post move, no good. Lady Comets got a dribble. So Weathers, she'll pick it up, passes it over, Combs. And again, they're going to have to foul here in just a minute. She goes straight up, a little contact there, no call. As they're going to hang on to it. Just trying to extend this out, run some clock here. At this point, you've got a 21-point ball game. You've got to win in the basket. You just got to extend each possession, chew off as much of this clock as you can, make them come up and foul you. Flips it to Weathers. So they just continue this coming on. And there's the foul. As they jam Alyssa Hale. That's the 5th foul on number 14, so she'll foul out of the game with 5 fouls. And Alyssa Hale will go to the stripe to shoot. The 9th team foul on the Wildcats. Number 5 will check back in the game. As they get their tall girls in there at the block. And misses that one. Fighting for the rebound. There is DeVinny, and she gets it, but errant throw there. Picked off by number 11. Putting up a shot, a little contact, no call there on the shooting foul. Minute 30, or on the shot, excuse me. Minute 30 remaining. Again, just smart ball here, pass it. There you go. Make each pass clean, make them come up to you, make them foul in this situation. You got a big lead as she tries to strip it away. Number 23 and a foul. And that should send Hannah DeVinny to the line to shoot. And that's a double bonus time. The 10th team foul on the Wildcats. Puts the Lady Comets in double bonus. As we are approaching 8 p.m., this game started at 6:30. It's been a lengthy one in part of the first half, all the action that occurred in the first half. It's been a lengthy ball game here. Of course, remind everybody the boys' game starts shortly after this one. We'll take about a 5-minute break and then start the boys' game on a new stream here on HintonComets.tv. Nets that one, 53-31 ball game. Minute 20 left. Comets just kind of staying in that 2-3 zone. Defend the inside, has some space there, pulls it up in the paint. That's no good. Gets the rebound there, and again, no need for a tough foul. Tough shot though, I tell you what. Good job there by number 5. Just turning around, getting that ball up, as that's not an easy shot. She makes it. And there's the foul. That's the 3rd foul on number 1. Of course, in the double bonus. So Haley Combs from the stripe to shoot with under a minute to play. Free throw is up. That one rattles around, no good. And as we get a bunch of subs in here, I believe they get the white flag subs in right now. As the Mercy subs comes in. Number 33 checks in. Number 3 checks in. And number 10 for the Lady Wildcats, as the Comets putting the final nail in the coffin here. 54 seconds remaining. Miley Daigle in the game as well. Jalen Wiedemann in the game. And a good steal there. 45 seconds remaining. Lasers that one to Combs. Combs going to run around. That's what you need to do. You need to get active, get on your feet, pass that ball out, extend this possession, get this game over with here with 30 seconds left. Come out of here with a win. And just going to dribble around with this great decision there. Yep. Takes it out to the half-court line. Is getting an applause here from the Comet side. In what was certainly a hard-fought-for win, as they played a great ball game, but they had to work for it. As Carnegie played a physical game. And a standing ovation here on the side as the clock hits 0. And your Lady Comets go 4-0 in their last 4 games, getting the win right here in Carnegie on a Friday night. So we want to thank everybody here as the Comets win 53-33. Thank you guys for joining in. We're going to take a quick break, 5 minutes. We'll have it on another link. The boys' game will be starting here in just a few minutes, right here on HintonComets.tv.
We'll stand beside you throughout the entire